Oh, hi guys, this is Cusick here, and welcome to the Cusick American Horror Story Cult UK After Show, Episode 4. Oh my god. Now, first of all, I do want to just mention, I'm going to sit over in the light. Now, you can see me a little bit. So, before I do start to talk about this episode, when I promoted this episode earlier on, I went on Snapchat, went on Facebook, just Snapchat and Facebook, and says I'm going to be joined by a friend. Unfortunately, my friend's not here right now, so just to go through with it very quickly, I wasn't watching American Horror Story in my house. I was watching it at my next door neighbour's house, who's a good friend of mine. So I watched it, we ordered Chinese food, and it was a good episode. I'll give you that. It was a good episode, and we're both very, very tired. So my friend was just like, "No, I'm going to sleep." So I'm like, "That's fine. I want to go home anyway." So I'm sorry that I was kind of misleading about having a guest. So yeah. So just to remind you, before I do talk about this episode of what? I've never had this before. I'm live streaming. And YouTube saying very bad connection. Shut the fuck up. Right, so, to remind you, there are spoiler warnings about what happens in the episodes, in this episode. So because I was with a friend, my friend is a fan of American Horror Story, but I'll just say right now, it was kind of annoying me because she was on her phone a lot, and I'm like, I'm trying to watch this, and she didn't even have her phone brightness on low settings, so it was a little irritating, but I managed to watch the episode. So what happened? Remember, spoiler warnings. So this episode was more about, it was more of a prologue, what happens before the election, what happens before Ali. Ali and Ivy, Ali, she was, because this was about other characters, Ali was only in like the start and the end, so it focused a lot on Kai. It did focus a lot on Kai. It focused on the neighbours, and who else? Adina Porter. No, that was quite interesting. And Emma Roberts' character, I'm sorry, but I did not pick up her character's name. So, first of all, I can confirm, Kai is the leader of the cult. This episode pretty much confirmed that. Before that I was like, I don't know, there's no connection between him and the cult. I can just say, yeah, he's the leader of the cult, without a doubt. I'll explain that why he is the leader of the cult later. So first of all, let's talk about this episode starts with everyone voting, and you can actually see who they're voting for. Kai comes in with a guy whose hand is chopped off. It's a guy from the store, by the way, who was on the till while Ali went off. So it was that guy. This is how it starts. It's kind of like one of the episodes when it starts with something confusing and explains it towards the end. So kind of like that format. So it comes in with that guy, his arm chopped off. Because remember, he had no left arm. And he was like, this man needs to vote. And they were like, holy shit, that man doesn't need to vote. That man needs a fucking hospital. No, I need to vote, and I need to vote now. And that gets explained later, like what kind of happened. So what else happened in this episode? Let's talk about Harrison from Across the Street. So as I say, it is a prologue. Harrison and his wife, who I'm sorry, I forgot the name of. This is before the moved and all that, by the way, before anything happened. They're having some financial issues. And looks like they're going to be evicted out the house. The wife is saying, the wife has been keeping it a secret. Harrison's like, why did you keep this a secret? We're going to be kicked out of the house. Like, what the hell women, and so Harrison, you can see him, his job, personal trainer, and Kai gets some personal training from him. He says he was recommended by someone. So you can see Kai working out in the gym, which is quite hot, by the way, quite hot. Harrison is training him. And you get to learn a bit about Harrison's job. So, Harrison is gay, if you remember. But weird. His boss makes him clean up the steam room because some guys decide to jack off in the steam room, and he has to clean the sperm with like a hose watering machine. So he always gets picked on because he's gay. And Kai's like, you should not be doing this stuff like that. And Kai makes him kill his boss. So that's what happens there. His wife, what happens with his wife in this episode? I can actually say I don't think a lot happened. I am going to watch the episode again tomorrow, just because my memory is a bit blurry from tonight. So yeah. So I can't much remember about his wife. So let's talk about Adina Porter for the minute. So Adina Porter, she is a news reporter. So she's going about reporting the news, stuff like that, and Kai is watching the news, and he noticed. Oh, I'll tell you about it in a minute. So Kai's watching the news, and he's like, "What?" He sees Adina Porter, and she said something like to the guy, like, you know how there's people outside and they talk to them, and it's like, let's go to this person out in the streets. So she's like out in the streets. Hope, her name was Beverly Hope. Beverly Hope. I can't believe I remembered that. Beverly Hope. Let's go to Beverly Hope out in the streets, and she says, well, she was reporting some stories about like body cut up, and this was a big episode, by the way. There was a lot to take in. My Wi-Fi just told me I couldn't connect, so it stopped the live stream. Like, what the fuck? That's some confusing shit. It's great to be back, Bob. It's great to be back, Bob. And so Kai goes and searches up Beverly Hope stuff. It turns out she had a mental breakdown and she put herself like in a facility to make herself better because she was mentally unstable. And you actually see videos of how she got mentally unstable. To be honest, I found this amazing. Does anybody remember? This actually links into American Horror Story, by the way. But this was a big thing. When news reporters go out in the street. Oh, what happened here today? Oh, well, this happened. Fuck, are they in the pussy? That happens. But I think in American Horror Story it was grab her right in the pussy? I can't remember. So she's trying to interview people and they're just like, grab her in the pussy. Grab her in the pussy. And people's making remixes of it on the internet. And to be honest, that bit was quite funny. There was a remix of her being... interviewing people and them just saying grab her right in the pussy. So one day she, I think she's reporting in a skating park, and as usual, grab her right in the pussy. She goes mad. She beats up the guy with the microphone, and this is like when she's like, yeah, I'm mentally unstable. So she puts herself in a facility. And she's back, and so Kai, he goes to Beverly, and he wants Oh no, right. So a lot of strange things happened in this episode. So before that, what I tell you about next, let's talk about Emma Roberts. Emma Roberts' character is a news reporter too, who is kind of like the enemy of Beverly Hope. Don't know why they don't like each other. I didn't really pick up on it. I'm very, very sorry. Her character, as always, was a bit of a bitch. But I don't mind it. I was like I said to myself, I said to my friend, Emily, I bet she's going to die by the end of the episode. I was wrong. She died in the middle of the episode. So let's talk a bit about that. So I think she kind of wants to take over Beverly. But Bob in the studio, Bob is like who's a boss or like a producer or something like that. He looks about in his 60s, and you know these news reporters about are like, well, first Beverly Hope looks maybe about 30, 40. The other one looks about she looks maybe around about 20. Maybe I don't know. She looks very young. Well, she's Emma Roberts. Turns out Emma Roberts is having a bit of a little sexual love with Bob and stuff like that. And I think Bob kind of wants her to... this is just opinion now because I can't really remember. Bob kind of wants her to, you know, be big on the news. But Beverly's like, no, fuck that. So when Kai comes to Beverly... I hear people. When Kai comes to Beverly... I've got to remember this, I can't remember. So he kind of like talks to her and stuff like that, and you know, he, like always, he's like, you can't be pushed around, kind of like what he done with you know, Harrison. I'm so sorry, my memory is bad, guys. And I am a little drunk. I'm 18, by the way. I know, I look about 12. I'm 18. That's legal over here. Don't go mad in the comments. So, yeah, just a little bit of extra information. So, Kai goes to Beverly, and then he's like, don't worry, I'll make everything better. And, so... Emma Roberts' character is out reporting with a cameraman. She's out in the woods. This cameraman's filming, and you see a clown coming through the background, and you're like, holy shit, and then other clowns come, and then they kill her, obviously, because Kai is helping people become stronger, really. Who else does he make stronger in this episode? So, I think he makes Emma's character Beverly Hope stronger. He makes Harrison stronger. Yeah. Now let's talk about what confirms that Kai is the leader. Well, first of all, that's quite big information. There was just a scene. It was Harrison and his wife was in like Kai's basement. And there was Harrison and his wife was in Kai's like basement, and they were drawing designs for clown masks, which you do actually see in episode 1, 2, and 3. So presumably Harrison and his wife are part of the cult. So that's quite interesting. So yeah. Oh yeah, let's get back to the man who got his hand cut for some reason. So what happens with him? This is kind of... So, let's talk about... Round about halfway near the end, Ivy shows up. Well, Ivy... Remember, this is before the first 3 episodes. Ivy is there, and there's people protesting, you know, Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton. I think she's kind of walking through it, and one guy who wants to vote for Trump. It was the guy with who was cut off the store manager with his hand. Grab it right in the pussy. Actually grabs her right in the pussy and runs off. And Winter comes out of nowhere. Hey, you're sexually harassed. I'll call the police. Chases him down. But he runs away, gets in his car. And so Winter's like, hey, what about some lunch? Which is quite sane, which means Winter and Ivy knew each another before. So things just get fucking strange in this season, but I fucking love this season so much. It's so great. That happens. So they go out for lunch, they talk for a bit. And they kind of want to get this guy back. So the plan of the Fenge. I'm not going to extend this out long just because I've been talking about the story a bit too long. Basically, they take him in the actual basement of the house, not Kai's basement, but I think there's a basement below. I might be wrong. So they tie him up. And says, the police will be here. Not tie him up, actually. He left hand is on a handcuff attached to a pole. And Winter goes to them. Kai enters, and he's like, oh, what's happened? And she's like, oh, I've killed someone. And it's like, I feel good. And he's like, yeah. So he wants to know everything. We don't get to see them talking about it, but Kai goes down to the basement. And, this guy's like, help me out and all that. You go to my stores of supplies. Kai pulls out a saw. But it's not a saw for metal. It's a saw that cuts flesh. So he gives it to him. And he's like, cut it off. And then he's like, yeah, okay, sweet. He cuts his fucking arm off. And I can't remember how it ends. Once again, no Twisty. I want Twisty back. I want to see more Twisty integration. Because I don't want Twisty to be left. I know the season is about a clown cult, but I want this to play in with it more. Okay, I'm back again. It disconnected. I'm going to give this episode an A. Now, I don't know, that might change. I'll tell you guys. Oh, actually, I have to tell you something at the end, guys. An A and an 8 out of 10. So that's my 2 grades for this episode. Sorry, I'm tired. I wanted to cover a few series. So, before I talk about these series, I just want to say, these series are not my series. These are Mary Girl Moody's series. I'll put her channel in the description. I love her videos. She does a bit like what I do. She does after shows. She does the action shows to American Horror Story, and she does an episode every weekly Wednesday. So go and subscribe to her, because if you love American Horror Story, you'll love her. Because she does a lot more American Horror Story stuff than me. Even when there's not a season on, every Wednesday she'll be talking about American Horror Story and what's coming next. Once this season ends, she'll be talking about what they're planning to do, what's been happening behind the scenes, because she usually gets the gossip. So go and subscribe to her. So, series number 1. I wrote them on my hands, but they've kind of gone. Oh. Now, I don't think this episode is quite relevant anymore. I don't think this series is quite good anymore. I don't know if it fits in after the episode 4. No, it doesn't. It doesn't fit in after the episode 4. But I was going to talk about it. I wrote these notes down before watching this episode, so things might change about these series. It was about Ivy was brother. Ivy was a brother? Ivy was a sister to Kai and Winter. She was just older, but at birth she was part of the cult when she was younger, but she was taken away, or something like that. Or she went away because she didn't like it. But something tells us, the CD is, something tells us that she's maybe joining back. Now let's think about it. It's still kind of possible. It's still kind of possible. I'm so sorry. I'm so tired. You know it's 11 o'clock at night. That's what time this is. That's when American Horror Story finishes. Like, one CD I was really happy to cover because I actually really like this CD. Once again, this is a Mary Gill Moody CD, so subscribe to her for more details about it. This one I really, really like, and I kind of believe it. And there's actually evidence for this one, good evidence. So, in episode 1, 2, or I don't know, as you notice, Kai in Winter's house, Kai kind of has a basement to himself, and Winter has the room upstairs. And upstairs there's loads of doors to, like, many, many rooms. And, like, it's impossible for just 2 people to be living there. So, and remember, the door, with the rose on it, what Kai smells. People think there's someone behind that door. And CD goes. Wait, let me just give some context first. So, in the first or second episode, you can actually see, Kai actually stands over there at one point, but at one point you can see a very, very little shot of it. There is a disabled, or like elderly chair that goes upstairs and downstairs in Kai and Winter's house. And Kai and Winter are both physically fine. They're like 20, 30-year-old. Kai works out, Winter's, they're both in good shape. They don't need it. So, people think there's someone of elderly in that house. Someone, like, so the theory is it's their mother. I hear people walking about. It's their mother, who's quite old, who's maybe who's fragile, and who is actually the original leader of the cult. But once she becomes stronger, she will be the leader of the cult again. And you'll get to know who's behind that motherfucking door. And so people believe the person who's going to play this old person is Frances Conroy, because she is confirmed for this season, and, you know, we don't know who she is yet. We've not seen any clips of her in a promo. Like, she is in this season, and it's just like, I think the series really good, so I kind of believe it. Let's talk about Mayor Winningham, because Mayor Winningham just came in my head when I was talking about Frances Conroy. So Mayor Winningham has been confirmed for the season of American Horror Story. Just to remind you, I think she joined in season 3. She was the mother of Evan Peters' character, the sexually rapey one. Episode 4, she was Pepper's sister. Episode 5, she was the maid, James Patrick March's maid. Season 6, don't think she was in season 6. But actually, we do have a word on who she is, because I seen a promo a while ago. I don't think I'm making this up. But I'm definitely sure that I seen her, and she was like talking in a courtroom to Kai, and it was kind of like, I don't know, I think she's just like a member of the court, something like that, a judge or something like that. She's something business classy, something like that, because she was speaking to people out loud. She was in a court case, so that's kind of, and I just kind of noticed. I think it's fine. It doesn't matter. Yeah. So we kind of have word on who she is. So I don't know if I've got much more to say about this episode. So yeah, I'd give it a grade of A. would I say A negative? No. Would I say A plus? No. I'm going to give it 8 out of 10. I know it's not a 9 out of 10, it's 8 out of 10. But I am going to watch the episode again tomorrow and see what I can pick up on. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the Christopher Cusick American Horror Story called UK After Show. Oh, one more thing. I knew I had to say one more thing. Nothing to do with the episode, by the way. There will be an episode next week and the week after, but it won't be live. I am going to Florida in a few days on holiday. I'm going to America, and it's like, this is still the Christopher Cusick American Horror Story Cult UK After Show, but you're going to America? Like, what the fuck? What do you plan to do? So, if you didn't know, which you should know, American Horror Story premieres on Tuesdays at 9 PM on FX in America. So hopefully we'll have a TV in the hotel room and we're eligible to watch it. Just me, I'll watch it, and after I watch it, I will record the episode. I won't go live, I will record it, and the video will go up. I'm gonna put it up when 11. I'm gonna make it so it goes up 11 PM British Standard Time on Friday. So stay tuned for that, and I can't wait. So that's what's gonna happen for the next 2 weeks. Be in Florida. I'll be filming in a different location. I'll be in a hotel room or balcony, and I can't wait. I'm going to do a few vlogs, so maybe not. I don't know. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I am Christopher Cusick. Peace out.